G'day, this is Central Coast Newspapers Weekly News, 5 at 5. In the bulletin this week, a call for a holistic plan for homelessness. Future Cities Summit in Gosford kicks off. Reid's first speech highlights healthcare. Shark nets on the coast set to go. And local Commonwealth Game golds. And a few fluffy chicks at the stadium. Now this week is Homeless Week and the community leaders are calling for a coordinated plan involving all levels of government, agencies, service providers and property developers. We had a chat with Pacific Link CEO Ian Lynch.
The main challenges as a community housing provider, and I would say this is across the board in New South Wales, is funding. Construction costs are significantly increasing beyond all expectations. And the access to equity, which is the funding to build new supply, is the key issue that is holding back significant new supply coming in. Another issue for us is access to land and sites that are suitable. The Central Coast, whilst it's an incredibly beautiful place to live, it's quite challenging from a development perspective. There is a range of local environmental planning issues that need to be overcome in development.
Now, about 200 business leaders gathered in Gosford on Thursday morning to discuss what the Central Coast needs to build itself as a viable, attractive city of the future. The summit was a collaboration between the Greater Cities Commission, Newcastle University and Business New South Wales. Here's futurist Mark Pascoe.
Digital future, it doesn't depend on a Jetsons future. It doesn't depend on a farming future necessarily or an industrial future. The power of being a generalist, and this is perhaps your main superpower, is that you get to head off into any direction you want and know that you're going to find your way through. Because the future favors the flexible.
Now read the full article on our website. Now, the newly elected member for Robertson, Dr. Gordon Reid, gave his maiden speech in federal parliament on Monday evening. His description of a busy hospital emergency clinic highlighted the challenges inside our hospital system.
Over the loudspeaker, back call. And so it begins. The team assembles in the resus bay, roles assigned, airway, breathing, circulation, drugs. We stand ready in full PPE to try and shield us from COVID-19, face mask essentially suction to the face, eye protection and face shield, long splash-resistant gown with gloves. You feel the sweat running down your face, your neck, but no time to sit, no time to rest. The room must be prepared for the incoming patient.
And the Central Coast could be the first region in New South Wales to completely decommission shark nets, if a final push by local Parliamentary Secretary Adam Crouch is successful, something fisherfolk and environmental groups have been calling on for decades.
What we have seen is the indiscriminate killing of marine life for what is, quite frankly, a false sense of security. Shark nets do not stop sharks. What they do, as I said, is indiscriminately kill innocent marine life. And with the new technology that the government has invested in here in New South Wales, and especially here on the Central Coast, we've got a smarter way of dealing with shark management.
And the Australian Rugby Sevens women's team have won gold at the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games, with Berkeley Vale's Faith Nathan playing a lead role. And Canwell's Bradley Woodward has won bronze and silver at the 22 Games in the 100 metre and 200 metre backstroke events, respectively. Now read all these stories and thousands more written by local journalists. They can all be found on our website, coastcommunitynews.com.au, still without a paywall, and in this week's region-wide print edition of Coast Community News. Now find us via the Google News and Apple News apps on your mobile phone. And remember, you can subscribe to our popular weekly email newsletter via our website and follow our socials via YouTube, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram for updates throughout the week. Now we leave you this week with the good news that 3 healthy Osprey chicks have hatched on the tower top of Central Coast Stadium on Monday. The little family are reportedly doing well, and Mum and Dad are going through about 6 fish a day to feed the little fluff balls. Have a fun and fluffy weekend.